Yo, what up, fam? My name is Wilser. Welcome to the channel where I talk about all things food delivery, particularly on two wheels. This is my 2024 Honda ADV160, and I just hit a milestone. I just hit 10,000 miles on her, and I think it's a good time to do a quick review on the scooter itself, particularly for food deliveries. Now, I have gone on some long distance rides. I've also done some moto camping, if you will, on this thing with a passenger. And I do food deliveries, obviously. So I spend about 130, 180 miles per day on this. So I got done a pretty good amount of stuff on this scooter. And I'll go over all the things that stand out to me. As far as technicalities and like specs and all that, I really don't remember things right off the top of my head, but I will describe a little bit how I measure it and how it works out for me on a day-to-day basis. But enough talk, let's get right into it. All right, let's start with the design and build quality. So it's a scooter, so that means it has like a small mid step through here. Makes it easier to get on and off. Something that for food delivery you'll be doing about 100 times a day, maybe more or less, but step through is important. Now, I did come from a scooter that had a complete step through. And I thought that this was going to basically be a very tough one for me, like converting from a big step-through scooter to a mid step-through. But after a while, I got used to it. And now it still is a struggle to get on and off. Like, you still have to throw your foot over, which, like I said, once you get used to it, it's not a big deal. And when I do get on, it's quick, jump over, and the positioning, you're in a pretty good like stand-up position, sit-up position. Like, I'm sitting upright. Now, right now it is on the center stand, so you can't really tell. It's a little bit in an angle. But yeah, I'm usually in a really good, comfortable, upright position. Something that's important because, you know, we're riding, I ride this a long period of time. I could probably go like 6 to 9 hours until I start feeling a little discomfort. That's why I got like a little padding. The seat is pretty good, but like I said, after that many hours, you want something a little bit softer. Yeah, so easier to get on, off. It has a very like a motorcycle look to it. I really do like the aggressive look it has. Got your low beams, high beams. And I notice the regular beams are not very visible during the day, so I always leave the high beams on. During the day, at night, I turn them off because, yeah, it blinds people. The Showa shocks make it very comfortable. It absorbs weight very well, especially with a passenger. I was pretty surprised at how well it worked with two people on here, especially when I took her up to the mountains. But I'll talk about power in a bit. So I am 5'7", and for my height, this thing is great. I can actually flat foot it. Whenever it's not on the kickstand, if I'm sitting all the way back, I might tippy toe a little bit. But if I put my body a little bit to the front of the seat, I can flat foot it comfortably. All right, so the next topic is like the engine and the performance. So this is a 160 cc. It's right below 160 cc. You can legally go on the highway with this thing, which is a plus, because when you do deliveries in like Los Angeles, there's a lot of highways everywhere, and sometimes you have to go very far distances. And with all the traffic that LA has, 160 with this power is perfect. You don't have to go too fast, and you know, you got just enough power to get out of situations that you want to like get out of. Or like green light or red lights, whenever the light turns green, you can just kind of zoom away from traffic and just get away. The perfect amount of power, in my opinion. Now, this thing tops out for me at 65 miles an hour, maybe 66, rarely 67 miles an hour. That's what the speedometer says to me. So that you're redlining at that point. But normally I'll be doing like 50 to 60 miles an hour on the highway. Usually slower because I'm always lane splitting. That's how I get around through traffic with this thing. So one thing that I was impressed on this is when I took her to do some moto camping, I took my girlfriend with me, and I've taken her on my Zuma before, so 125cc, and I noticed that the power going up, it would top out like at 30 miles an hour. This thing was doing 45, almost 50 miles an hour uphill with two people on it, and it didn't sound like it was struggling. It felt like it was kind of coasting through, and I was weaving through those turns very, very cool, very easily. And also I was fully loaded, so I had all the camping gear and food and drinks and everything. So this thing was handling very well with all that weight on there. So one big thing about, trying to figure out where to put the camera at. Let's see. All right, so here's one important factor on this. Fuel efficiency. So this thing has like the capacity thing for like 2 gallons. I fill her up like once a day. And I ride about an average about 130 to like 180 miles per day doing food deliveries. It costs like about $7 to $9 to fill up, and I could work all day with that, which is great. I think it's a great amount. It's not something that I'm not constantly thinking about gas. I don't even look at gas prices. For me to work a full day and just like think about filling her once when it's running low, it's great. So one thing that I really love about this scooter is that it has this compartment here. And in here, you have a USB connection. Now in here, I have my GoPro batteries. I used to carry an external battery, but I'm always charging my GoPro batteries in here. You could put sunglasses there. I had an external battery there at one point, always charging it. Super handy. I really didn't like that I couldn't like secure lock it, you know, but I mean, most people wouldn't even realize that there's a compartment here. So far, I haven't had anyone dig in there trying to find something yet, but you know, it's downtown LA, you usually have stuff like that. Oh, one thing real quick. I haven't dropped it, but I had someone else drop it. I was at a liquor store and there was like some fight going on. When they came out, they dropped my bike and it fell on this side. This panel broke and the center panel broke. I had to basically buy it again. But the good thing is that when I originally bought this, I bought it in red and I bought all the black panels. When those two broke, it was the black panel. So what I basically did is I spray painted or plastic dipped the red panels and I swapped them out. So, but if I didn't have brought those two panels would cost about 180. So I'm definitely gonna get some bars to guard my frame and the plastics. I think it's a good investment. It basically costs 180. So if I would have just bought that, I think my bike would have been cool. Nothing would have broke. So that's one thing I don't like about scooters in general, is that they have a lot of plastic on them and they break if you drop them. And this is basically that. It has so much plastic on it, all over the bike. So many plastic on it that, you know, it's susceptible to breakage, and then those little parts cost money and it just looks very bad when it breaks. So let me talk about the cargo space. Now there is this compartment here, which comes in handy for anything quick you want to access, like GoPro batteries, cell phone, external power bank. There was also the under seat, which is pretty cool. Let me take off my backpack, by the way. This is the backpack I use for food delivery. This thing is massive, one of the biggest ones you can pretty much get. All right, so you do have this wireless fob thing to unlock. You push this button and it unlocks the under seat. My full face helmet does not fit in here, but I do have a big helmet, but it fits almost everything else that I need to carry. I got some extra thermals here. I got my GoPro batteries, tools. I got black ice, air freshener, you know, important stuff. Things that you can secure so it doesn't get stolen. This is an accessory that I get for the rack. Very useful. I put the backpack here and not send it all the way out just because this is where it's most stable. But plenty of space underneath the seat for all your stuff you want to secure. And definitely enough space for a backpack, a rack and a backpack. This bike does come equipped with ABS in the front. I love it. This is the first bike I ever have with ABS. It comes in handy. I'm more confident braking on sudden stops, which, you know, food delivery with people pop out of nowhere. Super useful. I was kind of bummed out that in the America version of these scooters, they eliminate the disc brakes and they put drum brakes. I guess at first I bought it and I didn't realize I didn't have it. Someone pointed it out. I was like, oh shit, it doesn't. But with the front brake, I feel you have more than enough. Back brake is like extra. The rear brake's an extra. But so far, I really love the brakes on here. The suspension, like I said already, it's pretty badass. It works good. I took it off-roading a little bit. It's also really good. Very comfortable. You got this adjustable windshield too. Something that you know, depending on what your environment is like. Like when I get on the highway, I like to put it down like this, so I don't get that turbulence on my head. But when I'm riding on normal streets, this is cool because it blocks a lot of wind from your chest and the air kind of goes over you. I still get a lot of wind around my helmet, but it's all right. I mean, for this windshield to come stock, that's pretty dope. One of my favorite things about this scooter, hands down, is the handling and then the raid maneuvers, because it is a small bike It does feel very top light, like it's bottom heavy pretty much. It doesn't feel like you're carrying a lot of weight. It's very easy to cut through traffic. That's one thing I do like the most, is lane splitting and cutting through traffic. Here in LA, we're notorious for traffic. And just the way this thing handles in very slow speeds and just being able to get through these very tight spots. I mean, when I first got on it, I felt like it was a big scooter. That's only because I'm coming from smaller scooters and going to bigger ones. It's not like how some riders go from big bikes and then they ride something small. Like, their perspective on these are a lot different. Anyway, so once I got used to it, it's so insane how I can maneuver through traffic. I actually have to go around a lot of motorcycles because those guys get stuck, or those guys are just like, you know what, I'd rather just wait. And while those guys are waiting, I just like go around and I cut through. And that's thanks to the maneuverability and just the nimbleness of this scooter. That it wins major points on that, and it's for food delivery is like absolutely perfect. It's essential, I think. It's not ideal to have a big bike and do deliveries because you're gonna get stuck in places. You know, it's gonna be hard to throw that bike around all day long. This thing is just the perfect amount of weight for its power. That's one thing I definitely love about this thing. Also, because this thing is so light, I'm about to get hit. Because this thing feels so light, you can basically park her anywhere. And it doesn't feel like a big intrusive bike. So you can sometimes get away with like riding on the sidewalk very slow and then parking it on the sidewalk instead of the street, just to avoid getting potentially tickets. But, you know, just to throw it up, back it up onto a sidewalk, squeeze into small spots. It's so great for that. So that's one big plus, is easiness of parking. So the maintenance on this bike is really easy. I've done like 3 oil changes on it. You got the little thing to check the oil, and this is where you fill it up. Now I'm gonna dirty my hands. I haven't washed this scooter since I bought it. So this thing is 10,000. This is what it's gonna look like after 10,000 miles for riding. So I gotta give her a wash, but in time. So to change the oil, you basically just remove this. The filter's in there. You drain it out, clean it, put it back on, fill the oil. I think it's like, don't quote me on it, but I think it's like 9.91 quarts. You know what? Just check the manual. Don't take my word for it, because it's almost like one of those 1 quart things. And yeah, it's very easy. Actually, by the way, I need to change my oil because I'm changing my oil every 2,000 miles from now on, just because of how much I ride it. Not a big deal. It's super cheap. That the chugs are like, I don't know, $15, I think. I forgot. Now you could take it to the dealer if you want to get hold on to that warranty, but I found that to be very costly. It was like, first time oil change was like $75. Second time to do like all the other maintenance, it was like 400 something for the full service. And then I think the third time you go, it's like more than that, which I didn't end up doing. I'm kind of just doing things on my own. And that also helps me understand the bike a bit more. Like I said, it's not difficult to do. You got to do your homework. All I've really done is the oil change. I need to start doing all the other stuff because that's how I kill my engines, man. I don't maintenance them. But overall, this bike cost me $4,500 brand new with taxes and dealer fees and everything. It's basically cost me about $6,000. I financed it, so I'm paying like $125 a month. I make that with food deliveries in like half a day. So in half a day of work, I'm able to pay the bill on it, you know, and it covers. I mean, it's pretty good investment, because for half a day I can pay off the payment on it, and I have basically 29 and a half days left in the month to make a profit. Expensive isn't much. I got full coverage on it, but I think I'm gonna go back to liability. I think it's like 100. It was like 1,000 for the year. I don't know. I would think I spread it into like 6 months. Really not sure, but overall, I think it's a great bike for food deliveries. For adventures, is awesome. It's capable. It can go up hills. You could take a passenger with me. It's very comfortable. And oh yeah, long distance rides. Now this is kind of why I got this thing. The seat is comfortable, but I think for the amount of hours that I ride in it, I had to get a little bit something extra, which is why I got this air hawk, and I kind of just stuck it there with adhesive, something I should not have done, but what's done is done. But overall, I mean, I never thought of scoring it, but out of 10, I would give it like a 9.3. It's got the center stand, kickstand, which is very useful. I always use the center stand because you're picking up food, so you got to make sure it's balanced. It helps out. I'm trying to see what else I can cover. Well, yeah, after 10,000 miles, I haven't had no issues on it. The only issues that I've had is that this windshield I think in the beginning, one of the bolts fell out. I guess it wasn't tightened, and with the vibrations, it fell out. So there's only 3 bolts on there, which I need to order the 4th bolt. So it kind of loosens up a little bit. Like right now, it's like making a little vibration noise. It's just a bolt, not a big deal. What else? Tires are still good. Check out the thread. I mean, they're not good. I need to change them, but this is after 10,000 miles. I had a plugger once because I got a little rock in there, a sharp rock that kind of started giving me a slow leak, so I changed that up. Any other issues? Not really. Overall, great bike, guys. Man, I'm pretty sure I'm missing something. I guess I should show you guys my mileage. Check her out. 10,055 miles. It's so dirty. I gotta wash her. But that's it, guys. I'll make a video if you guys are interested in my entire setup that I use for food delivery. I'll make another one shortly. If not, I'll link it up in this video. I gotta learn how to do that. But yeah, that's it. I guess that's my review. Love this bike. It's awesome. Perfect for food deliveries. And that's it. Let me know if you guys got any questions. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.